Hello and welcome back everyone to the next demo session on SAP ABAP on HANA come S4HANA training with me Anubhav. In this demo session, we will discuss about the basic concept of ABAP on HANA. We are also going to talk about who is this training for, what can you expect by end of this 40-hour training, followed by a short live demo in the system. So let's get started our demo session. So let's understand our agenda for today's session. Our agenda is fully inspired by the most recent Tokyo Olympics. We will be understanding who is this training for, what's the overview of this course. We will also look at our use case for today's demo. I will also address some of the frequently asked questions by all of you regarding this training. And then finally, we will discuss question and answers. So let's understand who is this training for. So this training is designed for all sorts of SAP enthusiasts and consultants who are willing to ramp up their skills to the latest technologies like ABAP on HANA. This training is designed for ABAP consultants who would like to embrace the change in the technology and would like to run their ABAP program much faster with better speed. It's designed for BW consultants who are now coming out of traditional ways of back queries and DSOs and willing to build CDS views for the purpose of analytics and also wants to consume them on different analytic tools like S4HANA Embedded Analytics or SAP Analytics Cloud. This is also designed for Scrum professionals who would like to understand the development based on SAP HANA and estimate better for tomorrow. Also, any SAP consultant who is willing to learn and build amazing applications which are fully optimized for SAP HANA, utilize the latest Fiori user experience on top of OData and CDS. So this is our broad agenda for this training, and this is all the target audience for our course. Then let's have a look at a brief overview what you expect by the end of this 40-hour training. You can always go ahead and check the detailed course content on anubhavtrainings.com, but some of the highlights I would like to project here for you. In the first phase, we will learn the new ABAP syntax and tooling. We will learn about what is new with SAP NetWeaver layer, which helps you on your day-to-day programming, and what it means for an ABAP consultant to build applications on S4HANA and HANA database. You will learn tools like ABAP Development Tool on Eclipse and frameworks like BOPF, Integrated Data Access, and Fuzzy Search. In the second phase of this training, we will learn what is S4HANA, what it means for you to program on S4HANA, how do you optimize your existing ABAP code running on S4HANA. We will learn S4HANA code conversion while migrating your company system to S4, and also learn latest techniques like CDS views and virtual data models in S4. In the third phase, we will start with SAP HANA and its architecture more in detail. We will see how HANA is designed, what it means for code to data paradigm, also understand different concepts like HANA modeling, SQL scripting, view proxies, procedures, functions, and UDFs. Also, finally, how to consume them in ABAP layer. We will see how to transport your objects both from HANA and ABAP system to quality and production system. At the end, we will start with the detailed training on CDS view, OData, AMDP, and Fiori application development. We will see how to build optimized Fiori apps using CDS views and annotations, end-to-end transactional application including embedded analytics, which includes overview pages, analytic list page, and query browser. We will also see how to build optimized CDS view for analytical consumption, and also a preview of how to consume CDS views in SAP Analytics Cloud. This course is going to give us a complete 360-degree view of all the consumption areas of CDS views as well. So what's our use case for today? As I mentioned, it's completely inspired by Tokyo Olympics. So we have the Tokyo Olympics data now with us in our SAP S4HANA system, and we would like to build a dashboard on top of it. So that's our use case for today. At the end, you can expect a beautiful Fiori app, something like this, which will have the countries and for each country, how many gold, bronze, and silver medals were won by their players, and then a quick comparison of top 10 countries performed in Tokyo Olympics. Along with that, you will also see a table which shows the total number of countries, including the gold, silver, and bronze medals secured by their players. So this is our use case, very practical use case, which anyone can understand. No need to have deeper understanding on ERP technologies. Anyone can easily understand, and that was the main motivation for taking this use case. So in order to develop this use case, I would first introduce you the development tools, and then I will also introduce you the approach which we will be using. In today's session, it's a demo, so I will not be discussing here how I got these development tools set up, but in our next class starting tomorrow, we will see setting up these development tools and also the server access in our detailed training. So let's understand what tools are we going to use today. For simplicity of the demo, I have already configured these tools in my system, but in our next session, you all will be able to do. So now you can see that most of the applications are built using Fiori programming paradigm now, or the Fiori user experience. So to build a Fiori app, you have to use a tool called Business Application Studio as a developer. And then also the same developer who would like to build a CDS view has to use Eclipse with ADT. This is the tool we will be using for our demo purpose. So using the ADT tool, you will connect to the application layer, yes, your SAP basis, and then eventually you will create here something like CDS view. The CDS view gets activated, which is then creates a view inside your database, and your database now is SAP HANA. So you can see the three layers of your three-tier architecture have evolved a lot. In the past, we used to have SAP GUI on front end, then a plain application server with web server with WebDim Pro BSP technologies. And now we have CDS views powered in application server. And then on the database side, we went from any DB, which could be Oracle, MySQL, SQL Server, to HANA database, which is SAP's in-memory computing engine. So today's session, we will be building CDS view predominantly and also Fiori app. And these are all the two tools I will be using. What will be our approach to develop? It is going to be very simple. I will use a database table, which I already created, Z Olympics, in my ABAP system, which has all the data of countries, total medals, gold, silver, bronze, and all medals, including the ranking of these countries, including the total medal count. On top of it, I am going to build a CDS view, which is going to just create a aggregation of data. That's why it's called composite CDS view. In our session number 22, when we go inside our training, we will discuss more on what is composite CDS views. So this will be of type category cube, where we will do aggregation. Aggregation means summing data, calculating mean, max, average, count. All these functions are called aggregation. Hence, I will be using a annotation called aggregation equal to sum. Don't worry if you are not able to understand this terminologies. It's absolutely fine and natural because it's your first day working with CDS. But we will discuss all these more in detail. As it's a demo, I just wanted to show an end-to-end use case to sensitize what kind of applications we are capable of building. On top of this view, we will be building finally a analytic query view, which we call it as consumption view. So this is a consumption view. And this consumption view, we will also expose it as a service. So we will be using a analytic query. And then I will also be using here it as a OData annotation to expose the data. So we will build a OData annotation there to expose eventually the data out. And finally, we will build a Fiori app because Fiori app can't talk to CDS view directly. Hence, we are building the OData services. So Fiori app will connect to this OData service to fetch the data. In the Fiori app, we would display a analytic list page, which is one of the pillar of S4HANA Embedded Analytics. The screen consists of three major sections. The first section is called filter bar. The second section is called a chart. And the third section is called a table. Yes. So we will be functioning only on section 1 and section 2. For simplicity, I will ignore filter bar also today. So let us go back and start developing our first view, which is our composite CDS view. It is also absolutely okay that you're not able to understand anything in today's session because it's a demo. Of course, over a period of time, once you get used to the ABAP on HANA, you will be able to get maturity to understand all of it at the end of this training properly. So let's go back. This is our database table, which we have already created for you. And if I execute, you can see we've got the data. So we have got here country ranks, team name, gold medal, silver medal, and bronze medal, total number of medals, and the rank by medal, and also the country code. This is a sample data which we have got. And now what we do is we will create our first core data and service, or so-called CDS view. So I will be creating a CDS view now. Let me go ahead and build it. So right click on my local objects, click new, and I will search core data and services. So let's choose data definition, and I will choose Z composite CDS view, and I say Olympics, ATS, Annual Trainings, Olympics. This is a composite CDS view with Olympics data. Click next, next, and I will choose a view and finish. So now here we will select data from our database table, just like writing a select query. So this is our first CDS, and control space to insert all the fields. Now, as I told you that this is going to be a special type of view called cube because it is able to aggregate or sum up the data. So let's also do that. So here I will come and put a analytic details or data category as cube. And then we will put a annotation called default aggregation sum. This will mark our number fields as measures in context of analytics. So what is a measure? What is a dimension? All this we will discuss in unit number 7 in our training more detailedly. But for now, this is good to go. Let's save this up and let's activate our CDS for the first. Yes. So step 1 is complete. We have created a composite CDS. The next step is to build a consumption CDS view. The consumption CDS views are always built on top of cube CDS views. So let's create one. And I'm going to come back and create next one, which is a consumption CDS. Right click, new, Z, consumption CDS, on about trainings, Olympics. Consumption CDS are called because they are purposefully used for final consumption on the UI or by analytic tools like Analytics Cloud. They are built always on top of Cube views. So let's copy our Cube view name, and that will become now a source of my data. And now here is where I will start giving some OData annotation to expose this as a service. So this will now create a OData service, which then can be used for consuming this data by Fiori application. That's the purpose of putting this annotation. There are a lot of other annotations which you see above. I'm going to explain them in unit number 10 more in detail. So let's go ahead now and put here another annotation called analytic query as true, and we will save. Fantastic. So once we save, a service gets created out of the box, and you can see a warning symbol which tells you that the service has been successfully created but not yet registered. So I'm going to copy this, and now I'm going to go to Control 6 to my SAP GUI session in this Eclipse tool. So we'll talk about setting up our Eclipse tool in our next class. That is what we will be doing. So let me go to the main service transaction code, and this is where we will register our service. So I know that some of these steps are very hard for some of you to understand, but this is the main reason and motivation for taking this training. You will be comfortable with all these concepts and tools towards the end of this training. Yes, so that's the main thought process. So let's save this up, and my service will get registered now. Done. Next and last step is to build now a Fiori application. So we have created a OData now, and let's build a Fiori app. So to build a Fiori application, we go to a tool called Business Application Studio. It is also free for 365 days. And I will show you setting up Business Application Studio in chapter number 8 in our training. We will also talk about connectivity with your company system or my server so that you'll be able to practice and do hands-on of all of it step by step. This training is more focused both on theoretical and as well as practical parts. So you will become expert as well as you will prepare for interviews. Now, let's create a new Fiori application. So we go to the find command option and now create a Fiori app out of the box. So one disclaimer, you don't need to have detailed Fiori knowledge here to be able to build applications, which we will do in this training. You could be absolutely beginner on Fiori, still you will be able to create Fiori applications throughout this training. So let's start a Fiori app from template. And now we will choose a Fiori application of type analytic list page because the application preview which I showed you in my slide was of type analytic list page. You can see it has broadly three sections: the chart, the filter section, the chart section, and the table. So we focus only on chart and table. This is what our focus will be. So let's go back and choose here our ABAP system. So of course, the Fiori app has to take data from somewhere. Where will it take data from? It will take data from my S4HANA system. So I have already done this connectivity, but in chapter 9, I will show you how to also do this connectivity with your company system if you use that for your development. So next step is to add the service name here. So now we can see that service is picked up correctly. Let's click on the next button. So it has also picked up all the necessary details from our service. We don't have to change any information at the moment. And now we will give our project name to get started. So let's give the project name Analytic List Page Olympics. And I can say here title anubhavtrainings.com. And we can give application namespace as, let's say, anubhav.oly. And now we can say finish. So that's the process of creating Fiori app. You see, we don't have to have any prior knowledge on building Fiori apps. We just need to have access to this tool to begin with. So now what system is doing, it is installing all the required dependencies to build the project. In the meanwhile, you can see the Fiori project has been successfully generated. So as a next step, what we are going to do is we are going to preview this Fiori application. So what we do is we can right click and say run the preview and we start the Fiori app. So it takes few seconds to begin and start our Fiori application. And we should be able to see a empty Fiori app because we just have selected the columns from our CDS, and as a result eventually we should see actually empty Fiori app because we have not provided any specific information related to user interface. So you can see a analytic list page app, and what user has to now do is go back to this settings icon and choose the columns, for example countries, silver medal, gold medal, and bronze medal. Click OK and click Go button, and that's when the data will come. But yes, there you go. So for each team, we have got here the number of medals they have in the system. So what I want now is I would like to go back and get these things configured, pre-configured. When my app starts, I want to load these 4 columns out of the box. I don't want user to every time click settings icon and do so. So for that reason, we switch over back and we put few annotations out here. So it's called @UI.line item. And I say position 1. And then I say gold medal as position 2, silver medal at position 3, and bronze medal at position 4. Yes, these are all the data I want. And I will activate my CDS. Yes. So basically I'm telling Fiori UI, hey UI, can you please show my team NOC column as first position, my gold medal column as second position, and accordingly. So let us go back and refresh the page, refresh the Fiori app, and you will see now next execution would automatically bring in those columns in the table. So this is the main benefit of building applications using Fiori and CDS, because you don't have to write any complex ABAP coding to do so. You don't have to write select query or anything. It will automatically take care of it. And there you go. You've got your table columns. Now, as the next request, as per our requirement specification, we want countries. And for each country, we want how many gold, silver, and bronze medals they have got. So let's go back and build a chart. So to do that, again, we use annotation, and it's called chart annotation. And as you all know, with the childhood days, if you want to build a chart, you would probably have x-axis and y-axis. Yes. So we have x-axis and we have y-axis. The x-axis is also known as category axis, and y-axis is known as basically axis. Yeah. So what I want country here. Let's say India, US, Russia, Russian Olympics Committee, for example. And then what I want here is I want their numbers. So how many medals they've gone. So if you see gold, bronze, and silver, something like this, then gold, bronze, and silver. Yes, gold, bronze, and silver, something like this I want. So you can see this is my y-axis, and on y-axis I want three different plots for each medal type. So this is why it's called axis 1, axis 2, and axis 3 for the gold, silver, and bronze. Yes. And then on x-axis, we will put category equals to country. This country team NOC. That is what we will be putting. So that is why we need these things to be plotted here. And that's why x-axis is also called as dimension. And y-axis is called measure, because they are numbers usually. So we will put dimensions and measures. And this chart which we are using is a stack chart. Stack column chart, because it's stacking the number of medals of each category. So let's go and do so. So we will put here the chart type as column stack, and then we will put dimension. I just have one dimension, which is team NOC. Control space you can do to do code completion. Then we have here dimension attributes. Dimension name is team NOC. And we will put here, this is going to be my category axis, my x-axis. Then I put measures. I will be using 3 measures, or in fact 4 measures. So gold medal, silver medal, bronze medal is what I will be using. So gold medal, silver medal, and bronze medal. So these are all my measures, my y-axis properties. Yes. And now I will also put here measure attributes, where I'll say my first measure, which is gold medal, it should be shown as my first axis. So role is axis 1. Similarly, I will have the bronze medal, and similarly I will have silver medal. So gold, silver, and bronze, and we will put axis 2 and axis 3 because we are creating a stack of values. So this is what the setup we have got now. I will save it, and let me just go ahead and activate this. So that should now be sufficient to bring a chart as per the configuration which we provided in our CDS view. Yeah. Now, many of you are totally confused with this. Don't worry. This is something which is a topic you will understand more in detail in chapter 17 and 18, where we will detailed out each and every annotation related to UI. And if I refresh, let's see what we get. We should get here the countries and their total medals stacked through all. That is what we should get. So let's go back, and I say go button, and This time you can see it has loaded a chart. Nice. Yeah, but looks very small because you can maximize to see the charts. So we have got gold. Japan got 27 gold medal. They have got around 14 silver medal, and finally bronze, 17 bronze medal. So you can see this is how we got all the values, but I don't want to see all this like this. I wanted to show them in total number of medal in descending order. Yes, so let's do that. And I will switch over back to my view, and let's also add the total number of medals, total medal, as another measure. And now we will do a presentation variant to basically sort out this data. So we wanted to create sorting. So let's do this. And I will say, please do a only top 10 countries and kindly do the sorting. So we can say sort order and sort by the total number of medals in descending order. So direction is descending. So highest number of medals, then low, and so on. And show me only top 10 countries. I don't want everything. So this is our required annotations which we put into the system now. So I'm just going to activate this, and based on the changes which we do here, it eventually going to affect my chart here on the screen. So let's do so. And now in just a few seconds, you will be able to experience what we were expecting to come out in the same way. So top 10 countries with their number of medal breakdown will come up at front of us. So let's see. There you go. So highest number is from US, then Republic of China, ROC, Great Britain, Japan, Australia, and so on. So you can also maximize your chart and just change the chart type. For example, a horizontal combined chart, you can see. So horizontal chart, or so this is something which system will automatically work. Now it's saying that order by is not supported for this total medal property. Reason being, if you go back, you would see that we have not given any annotation here to read this value. So let's also provide an annotation here for line item, yes, for the total medal. So that system also can support and treat it like a value which is fetched from the backend. So I'm going to come back and refresh. So that system can also now read this value. So wherever you put annotation, only those fields will be read from the backend system by the Fiori application. So that error will disappear. So let's go. And now you see the error should not come. Yes. So there are total 1080 medals were distributed, out of which 340 were gold medals, 338 silver, and 402 bronze medal were distributed. Now, the best part is if I select, let's say, Japan, and I click this Japan here, it will automatically filter data for Japan in my table. This is a live filter capability, and without writing any ABAP code. You didn't write any ABAP code. This app will also work on mobile phone very amazingly. So if you want to see an iPhone preview for this application, how it is going to look like an iPhone, I can turn my browser into iPhone to just show you how would this application react into an iPhone device. So that is how you can also right away test the behavior of application on different devices. But usually the ALP applications are more suitable for the desktop devices. However, we can see that here. Yes, this is how it looks in a mobile phone. And you can see the table. You can drill down to table data to see the values. This is how it's going to look. If I see iPad in a landscape mode, how it's going to look like. Show details, and you can see the details. And you can switch to the chart. So this is how the app is going to look like in mobile phones actually. Yeah. So you can see the different types of charts. User can slice and dice the data depending on their need in iPad. So that's our quick demo on working with the solution, working with CDS, and the capability which we can get with ABAP on HANA. And this is all you're going to learn in our training end to end. This was just a brief overview of what you would expect. So What did we saw today? We saw how to work with an ABAP on HANA system, launch our ABAP development tool on Eclipse, create a CDS view with VDM, enrich our data model with the annotations, and then create OData service. And finally, create a analytic list page application in S4HANA for our final demonstration. So some of the important questions and frequently asked questions by many of you before we start this course. So do I need to have any prior knowledge on HANA? No, you don't need to have any prior knowledge on HANA. We will cover foundation of HANA in this training. So you don't need to have any knowledge on HANA at all. How much is the ABAP knowledge required for this course? So only data dictionary, internal table, basic syntax, and function module. If you know that, then this 100% course is very effective. Still, those who come from BW and don't have ABAP knowledge, first 30% of the course topics may not be so relevant, but yet remaining 70% topics will be relevant and you can easily learn without any ABAP skill. So I'm from BW and BI consultant. Can I also learn ABAP on HANA? Yes, and you must learn, because nowadays for analytics, we would use Analytics Cloud or Embedded Analytics, and this is all built on CDS. So CDS is a very important chunk for your learning these days. How much deep knowledge of OOPS ABAP required for this course? So not much. You need basic knowledge on OOPS, like basics of classes, interface, and objects. That's all you need to know to become expert on ABAP on HANA. What about server access? I don't have a server. No worries. We can arrange a server access for you if you need. It is all completely on demand, but we would recommend you to use your company's server. In our next class, I will show you the details about server access, how to get access to. Don't worry if you don't have server access in your company, you're not yet on S4. We are committed to provide you the best services all at one place. So we will guide you the process of also getting a server access where you can do all the hands-on. Which server, which version of HANA and S4 are we going to use? So we'll use latest 2021 version with HANA 2.0 and ABAP layer to build our applications. And how much is this course? We spend time on CDS. So almost 40 to 50% of time you will be spending on CDS views in this training. If your target is to become expert in CDS, this training is a must-have training for you. Do I need to have any prior knowledge on OData? No, you don't need to have any prior knowledge on OData. We will give you a complimentary session on basics of OData, which you can watch. Can I also take this course in video mode if timing doesn't suit me? Yes, definitely. This is another option you have. If timing doesn't suit or you miss any class, you can always go through the videos or video-based training as well. And then you can ask your questions in the live classes. What tools are we going to use in this training and how to practice ABAP on HANA? So we will use certainly ADT, ABAP development tool on Eclipse, which I showed you today. But installation of this we will cover in next class. We will also use Business Application Studio tool to build Fiori applications, and full life cycle of these apps is starting from development to deployment to configuration to maintenance. We will be covering in this training. So having said that, that's the end of our demo session. To join this training, please feel free to email us on contact@anubhavtrainings.com, and then you can enroll for the classes starting tomorrow. So that's it from my side. Once again, thank you so much for taking your time today. It was a short demo, yet was very effective for you to understand and help you making sense what kind of applications we are going to build in future or building on S4HANA these days. That's it once again. Please share, like, subscribe this channel. Have a nice day and goodbye.